This week, we'll take you along on our errands and what we do here in BGC.
Let's go. We came here for the easy life, the walkability, the safety, the clean streets. But for 7 months, despite living our dream in BGC, something was missing. We were still outsiders. This week, we're tackling our big list, from a government ID to a new bank account. And we'll show you how BGC's convenience makes it possible, even for errands that require a quick ride.
As you know, everything here is walking distance for us. This is how we get our steps.
Yeah.
Again, we average about 10 to 12,000 steps a day. Most of the time you see us walking, you see tall buildings, tall condos. It's kind of nice because this route, we're surrounded by the two big schools here. And as you see, there's grass, there's tall trees.
It's really a nice walk. The sidewalks are wide and spacious. And this is all the way until we get to the mall. So there's no issues getting around at all. First mission, fuel. And in BGC, that's literally a 5-minute walk. Wide sidewalks, ramps everywhere. This is the dream for our double stroller life. We're hitting the mall, grabbing lunch, and we'll be home before the kids even think about a meltdown. Just past Market, and we usually go to that mall as well. It's one of our favorite malls. So you can imagine how close it is and how very walkable it is.
Yeah.
This is the convenience we're talking about. No traffic, no booking a ride. How do you put a price on that?
Go there? Okay. All right, so we just made it. I'm playing the piano here.
Do you
want
want to sit on there? Good job. Can you teach us how you do it?
So Kuya Aiden actually took piano classes at school. Huh. We hardly take the elevator because the elevator is always packed with people.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
So this is how we do it.
Yeah. You do?
You like your hat?
I like the hat. I can eat that hat. So we're eating dinner, and yeah, we're eating dinner.
Dinner? Are you eating lunch?
What are you eating for lunch?
Look at the camera if you want to eat some bread.
And yeah, so we're eating like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to go there. So yeah, that's how.
Okay.
Yeah.
Part of our adventure this week is going to IKEA. We need to get a couple small items. It is cold. The drive is 30 minutes. All right, so we'll answer a couple questions that we wanted to cover this week. One of them is, we said it actually on Pinoy Floyd's video, the one that we were featured in, but we talked about a soft landing. All right, so soft landing means exactly what it sounds, soft landing. When you move to a foreign country for the first time, you want to make it as easy as possible for you and your family. So for us, BGC was the ideal soft landing because this has all the it has all the Western amenities, so it was super easy to adapt. Having our soft landing in BGC was just an easier transition because again, it's very, very westernized. It's not 100% westernized, obviously, because it's still the Philippines. Um, but coming from the U.S., Las Vegas, I think we probably only had to adapt like 20% if I was to put a number to it, because the food was Western food. Even though we eat Filipino food, but the food was a big one to adapt. The water was easy to adapt as well to some degree because we have access to more companies than probably other rural areas for different water delivery services. So speaking of food, a lot of, and I mentioned this briefly earlier, but a lot of expats are, one of the challenges for them is the variety of food. Again, for us, fried food, grilled food, whatever we wanted, we had access to in BGC, which made the transition a lot easier eating the regular food that we were used to eating in the US. And honestly, it was actually we actually had more options. If you guys don't know, food is way more affordable in the Philippines than it is in the US. We would eat out in America for a dinner for all of us, probably like $50, $60 with some leftovers on that, of course. And here, our food budget was almost cut by like 60%, which allows us to try out more food, try to have different experiences. Another thing too is the hospitals. St. Luke is right across SNR, St. Luke Hospital, which is about less than half a mile from us. We haven't had to use it yet, so thankfully hopefully we won't have to anytime soon. But that's literally close by to us. So it's just comforting knowing that there is a good hospital very close to us. It just puts you at ease a little bit. Yeah, if it's plastic. There you are. So we use Grab for everything. Grab is, again, it's driving service. It's also food deliveries. Most of the food places that usually within like a mile, half a mile, we would walk there ourselves to get the food. But if we can't walk there, of course, we'll order Grab for a food delivery. When we get it delivered, though, we have our foreign credit card, which is our U.S. credit card, tied to those or tied to that Grab website. They do charge a foreign transaction fee for having a foreign credit card on their Grab portal. So on average, it's probably costing us an extra 40 to 50 pesos, depending on the dollar amount of our order that they charge additional for using a U.S. credit card. That's another reason why we're working on getting our U.S. or our Philippine driver's license, which we'll do a video on that as well to see how the process is. But once we get that, then we can get a credit card or a bank card here in the Philippines, which will now connect that to the Grab card, to the Grab account. And we don't have our Philippine license yet, our Philippine driver's license, because there hasn't been a rush, honestly. We were able to pay cash for all of our deposits and all the large transactions we had to do, we were able to pay cash with it. So I'll do a video on how to get that license because we're learning as we go. But again, we haven't had any use for it whatsoever. But I think it's just nice to have. It's funny because electrical is what we have in the Philippines, so they cater to that. In there. All right, another question that we get quite often is how do you guys transfer your U.S. funds, or how do you guys have access to your U.S. funds here in the Philippines? We have a Fidelity Cash Management account, which is a Fidelity, they don't charge foreign transaction fee. So no foreign transaction fee on any time you withdraw money from it. And then we have a United credit card, there's no foreign transaction fee on that as well. So pretty much we're using it like we would use it in the US. No additional charges other than, again, having it on the Grab portal. We get no foreign transaction fee to use any ATMs here in the Philippines, so no additional charges. We also don't get charged on the conversion rate as well. And we try to take out money when the conversion is higher, like at 58, almost 58 and a half pesos per dollar. That's usually when we try to withdraw as much money as we can. But we've actually made money withdrawing money here because the conversion was so good, and we're getting charged no additional extra fees whatsoever. So for us, it's literally like going to a US ATM withdrawing $100 because there's no additional fees whatsoever on it. So we've had no issues with that at all. And I know a lot of people have that hurdle or also have that question as well, but knock on wood, we've never had any issues with it because we have cards that allow us to do that with no additional fees or charges. But one pro tip too is before we left, we made sure all of our cards and all of our IDs doesn't expire for several years, just in case. We have U.S. addresses in the Philippines, so any credit card stuff or any bank or any sensitive information will get sent to our PO box. So we have access to that with people checking it for us. So we did keep a U.S. address. So a lot of the things we see on the other Philippine expat groups is the Philippines is all cash, cash everything, cash money everything. They're not wrong. I think certain places accept cash more than others. However, again, having a soft landing here, we use our credit card for our purchases. I would say like 95% of the time because they take credit cards and we get points and we get no additional fees on it. And again, we always carry cash anyway. But in general, like 95% of businesses we've encountered accept credit cards. So yeah, we have no problems at all using our credit cards. We prefer to use our credit cards because of the points. But it's been easy breezy with that at least. Because again, a lot of the companies here are a little bit bigger, mostly franchises. Good for Yeah.
Why are you not using that?
After 7 months, going on to 8 months, we're finally gonna get my Philippine driver's license so I can open a Gcash account, which honestly we don't use it anyway, but it's nice just to have it. Any advice? What do you think? Because everyone's telling me I need to be careful not to get scammed. How about the people outside?
No.
Don't talk to anyone outside?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. LTO employees only, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So I need to find Chow King because this is where I'm supposed to get my medical. I had to get my eyesight, like the medical exam. The original place was closed, which is above a Chow King. So a random guy walked us through, and I was able to get it done. I followed a nice couple from British Columbia because they spoke fluent Tagalog, so that helped me out a lot. Now I gotta walk back to the LTO office and make sure I don't get run over doing so. It's a very interesting process, so we'll see. But you have to leave the premise to get the medical exam, so it's been intense. Should get it today. I need to fill out the paperwork. I'm going to sit down, fill out the paperwork, and hopefully I'll get it today. The guy at the front desk originally was super rude, but nonetheless, he's the only guy I can work with. So let's fill out the forms. I am officially done. Officially got my license. I'll share a little bit of my experience so far, but it wasn't too bad at all. Building is big though. Like this area is really big. That's why it was kind of confusing because you have to go to different steps and different areas to find out exactly where to go. Like I mentioned earlier, what I did was I started the paperwork with licensing, and then I had to go get my my eyes done and my blood pressure, my height, my weight. But you have to do that at a medical LTO accredited area. And when I went there on the second floor, which again, this is the building I was in, I had to leave that building, go all the way over there, and then it was right, the LTO accredited medical place was on the second floor of a Chow King, which is a restaurant here. That was closed, which they didn't tell us was going to be closed. And then I saw this guy talking to a family, and the family turns out to be from British Columbia, so I ended up following them, and they helped me. So the guy guided us to the place to where was another accredited area for all the medical testing. We walked about 200 meters, and yeah, I did my vision test there, and the Canadian family from British Columbia was there with me. They're super nice. Husband's name is Noel. I forgot the wife's name, but super nice. And after we did that, I had to walk back to this building, fill out all the paperwork, go window to window to window to window, and then I got my license. It was 780, I believe, 780 pesos. My medical thing was an additional 500 pesos because I had to go on the off skirt to get it. I'm sure it was cheaper at the other place they recommended, but it was still LTO accredited, so they took it obviously. So let's say under 1,400 pesos was the cost to get my license, and it took about less than an hour and a half. It would have taken long, or it would have been a lot quicker if I didn't have to go back and forth. But the drive itself to get here was only about like 35 minutes. The guy that helped us get to the other medical accredited area, I tipped him 50 pesos because that's kind of, he was doing that obviously to make a living. I didn't get scammed or anything. Every single person here said, don't get scammed, don't get scammed. Side note, I had to photocopy all my information, which I didn't know that. So I got that done as well, and that cost about 15 pesos. So that was easy breezy there. That's it, I'm done. Now I'm gonna go home, and then I'll recap again what I went through because I'm kind of like out of breath because, like it's a new place. Didn't really know what to expect, honestly, other than don't get scammed. That's the number one thing that multiple people told me. My Grab driver here said that as well on the way here. So let's go home.
You have to go with
Try to open a bank account. Last time I tried opening it, we didn't have an official lease agreement, so that didn't work out. That was one of the reasons. The other time is they said I needed a PI ID. So, as you know, I just got my Philippine driver's license. We have a lease agreement. So hopefully I can get it this time around. I brought all my paperwork, passport, dual citizenship, lease agreement, old license, new license. So hopefully they'll take it this time around. The bank is only, I think, like 3 blocks away from our place. So hopefully they'll let me open it. One of our subscribers actually recommended a particular bank because he knows the manager. So hopefully they'll get it open for us. It really is super convenient living here because, I'm literally just walking there. So, it's hard to put a price on being able to just walk there without getting a car or even Grab. Passing a Tesla dealership right here. I read that Tesla doesn't have their self-driving here because it's hard to predict all the tricycles and whatnot, which can't blame them. Right behind me. Alright, so I am lost. I don't know exactly where this Metrobank is. I think it's across the street. GPS set a different location and I thought I knew. I'm typically pretty good with directions, but I think it's across the street here. I think I'm going the right way because I just saw 6 guys wearing Metrobank lanyards. That's a good sign. Oh, I think it's inside the Grand Hyatt, maybe. Let's see. Okay, so I was mentioning about sidewalks. look how wide the sidewalk is. It is really wide. 10 times better than a lot of places. On top of me taking a little detour, it's starting to sprinkle a little bit. So I'm about to take a little shower. And I didn't bring an umbrella, which my rule of thumb is always carry an umbrella with you. But I literally thought it was just like 3 blocks away. See, on the streets here, there's no street labels at all. So I'm gonna follow these guys because they have a Metrobank lanyard. Oh, I think it's in this building. Oh, it is in this building. Yeah, so it's inside Grand Hyatt. Oh, I just finished getting my bank account right by Grand Hyatt. They had me fill out a paper form just for them to put inside a computer. So a little bit of redundancy. But it was pretty quick. I obviously had all the proper documents. When I used to open accounts, when I used to work at the bank, it's called KYC, Know Your Customer. They didn't ask me any details about anything at all. So the KYC here, it's non-existent. So essentially, as long as you have the proper documents, you can open the account without any kind of proof of anything, really. Because I mean, you could be money laundering and all that. And that's actually where KYC came from because of all that, which is actually good and bad. But yeah, it was pretty painless. One of the benefits to open an account is that for Grab, they charge you a foreign transaction fee for having a US credit card on file. So now I'll add this new debit card on it. We'll avoid that, and it's like a percentage depending on the dollar amount that we spend. We're not going to get charged moving forward, so that's obviously helpful because any dollar you can save, it's a benefit. Now I'm going to get dinner.
After 7 months, finally getting these foundational things crossed off, it hits different. I can't help but feel like this is our life now. We moved our family across the world, and it wasn't easy. We were scared, but we did it. Hesitant, but we pushed through. We doubted ourselves, and yet here we are. With that said, thanks for watching and subscribe to follow our journey.